Nigeria's Super Falcons, the undisputed queens of African football. For decades, they have ruled the continent, lifting trophies, breaking barriers, and inspiring generations. But behind every triumph, behind every gold medal and World Cup appearance, lies the heart of football itself: goals. Scoring goals is what makes the Super Falcons the fearsome force they are. From the early 90s to today, Nigeria's strikers and midfield magicians have delivered unforgettable moments that live forever in our hearts. So today, we take you on a countdown journey through history. From legendary captains to lethal forwards, from pioneers of the women's game to modern day icons. This is the story of the highest goal scorers in Nigeria's Super Falcons history. Stay with us, because number one on this list is a player whose record might stand for a very long time. Countdown: Maureen Madu, 15 goals. Starting off our list at number 9 is Maureen Madu, the midfield general who became one of the most consistent players ever to wear the green and white. Maureen wasn't just about goals. She was about control, vision, and resilience. She represented the Super Falcons across 4 FIFA Women's World Cups and multiple African Women's Championships. But even as a midfielder, she found the back of the net 15 times for Nigeria. That's not an easy feat considering she played deeper on the pitch, often tasked with breaking up play and distributing the ball. She was also one of the first Nigerian women to play professional football in Europe, paving the way for many of the stars we celebrate today. For many fans, Maureen's importance wasn't just the goals she scored, but the fact that she held the team together, a silent engine that kept the Falcons ticking. That's why she kicks off this legendary list. 8. Nkwocha Ajayi, 16 goals. Number 8 takes us back to the late 90s and early 2000s, when Nkwocha Ajayi was a household name in African women's football. A natural leader, Ajayi captained the Super Falcons and brought both flair and authority to the pitch. Known for her attacking instincts, she scored 16 international goals for Nigeria. Ajayi wasn't just a scorer, she was a motivator. In the dressing room and on the field, her presence lifted the team. She embodied what it meant to be a Falcon: fearless, disciplined, and determined. Her goals came at crucial times, often in high-stakes matches where Nigeria needed inspiration. Though her tally is modest compared to some on this list, her influence was massive. Today, young Falcons still talk about her leadership legacy. 7. Florence Omagbemi, 17 goals. At number 7 is a true pioneer, Florence Omagbemi. Omagbemi is one of those rare figures who made history both as a player and as a coach. On the field, she was an outstanding midfielder, scoring 17 goals for the Super Falcons. She captained the side through its golden era, including the famous 1999 FIFA Women's World Cup quarter-final run, the first time an African women's team went that far. After retirement, Omagbemi returned to guide the team as head coach, leading the Falcons to the 2016 African Women's Cup of Nations title. That made her the only woman to win the tournament both as a player and as a coach. Florence's name will forever be carved in Nigerian football history. Her goals were vital, but her leadership and tactical mind are what truly set her apart. She represents continuity, a bridge between generations. 6. Cynthia Uwake, 18 goals. Sliding into number 6 is Cynthia Uwake, a forward blessed with pace, agility, and sharp finishing. Uwake was part of the Falcons team in the mid-2000s, a time when Nigeria continued to dominate Africa but also sought to make bigger statements on the global stage. She netted 18 goals for Nigeria, many of them from open play, where she used her speed to outpace defenders. Cynthia also played her club football abroad, showcasing Nigerian talent on the international stage. Her ability to adapt to different playing styles made her a valuable asset. Though she didn't enjoy the same spotlight as some others, true fans of the Falcons know how deadly she was in front of goal. She was the kind of player who could turn a game in a single sprint. 5. Stella Mbachu. In 5th place, we celebrate Stella Mbachu. Mbachu is one of those players who spent years faithfully serving the national team. With 20 goals, she earned her place among Nigeria's top scorers. What made Stella special was her consistency. For over a decade, she was part of the Falcons' success stories at the African Women's Championships. She wasn't always the headline name, but she was always reliable. And when you needed a goal in a tricky group stage game or a tense semi-final, Nkwocha could deliver. Her journey reminds us that legends aren't only the flashy stars, they are also the hard-working players who grind out victories. For Nkwocha, 22 goals. Now, moving to the modern era, we have Nkwocha at number 4. Nkwocha is proof that Nigerian women's football continues to produce world-class forwards. With 22 goals, she is already one of the most dangerous attackers of her generation. Nkwocha burst onto the scene with her goal-scoring exploits for the Nigeria U20s before stepping up to the senior side. She combines strength, skill, and composure in front of goal. What makes her even more exciting is that she is still active, meaning her tally is likely to keep growing. Fans love her for her flair and ability to produce goals out of nothing. If she continues at this pace, she could climb even higher on this historic list in the coming years. 3 Desire Operanozie. 3 Desire Operanozie 22 goals. Tied with Nkwocha is Desire Operanozie. Operanozie's journey is one of power and passion. Known for her strength, she bullied defenders and scored some of the most memorable goals in Falcons history. She also captained Nigeria at different times, showing leadership both on and off the pitch. With 22 goals, she leaves behind a legacy of resilience and determination. One thing fans will never forget about Operanozie is her commitment. She gave everything to the badge. And whenever she wore the green jersey, she left defenders trembling. Together with Nkwocha, Operanozie represents the new wave of Nigerian strikers who are carrying the torch forward. To Oshoala 37 goals. At number 2, the name needs no introduction. Oshoala. Nicknamed the Super Z, Oshoala is a global icon of women's football. With 37 international goals for Nigeria, she is already the Falcons' second highest scorer in history. But beyond numbers, her influence is unmatched. From winning the BBC Women's Footballer of the Year in 2015, to becoming a 6-time African Women's Footballer of the Year, to starring for FC Barcelona Femení where she won the UEFA Women's Champions League, Oshoala has done it all. For Nigeria, she has carried the team at crucial times, scoring at the Women's World Cup and dominating the African stage. She is more than a footballer. She is a role model, a trailblazer, and an inspiration for millions of young African girls who dream of playing football. At only 30 years old, as of 2025, she still has time to increase her tally and maybe challenge for the number 1 spot, but that's not going to be easy. 1 Nkwocha Nkwocha 80 goals. And finally, at number 1, standing head and shoulders above everyone else, is Nkwocha Nkwocha. Nkwocha is the undisputed queen of Nigerian football history. With a jaw-dropping 80 international goals, she is not only Nigeria's all-time top scorer but also one of Africa's greatest players ever. Nkwocha's career is decorated with titles. She won the African Women's Footballer of the Year 4 times, led the Falcons to multiple continental triumphs, and scored unforgettable goals on the biggest stages. Her most iconic moment? The 2004 African Women's Championship final, where she scored 4 goals against Cameroon in a single match, a record that still lives on. Nkwocha was a complete forward, pace, intelligence, deadly finishing, and unmatched consistency. Even after retirement, her influence continues as she coaches and mentors the next generation. When you talk about African women's football, you cannot tell the story without Nkwocha Nkwocha. So there you have it, the top scorers in Nigeria's Super Falcons history. From Maureen Madu, the midfield maestro, to Nkwocha Nkwocha, the record-breaking queen, each player has left a unique mark on the game. These women didn't just score goals. They built legacies. They carried the hopes of a nation. And they inspired young girls across Africa to chase their dreams. The Super Falcons remain the most successful national team in Africa, and it's thanks to legends like these. Who is your favorite Falcons goal scorer of all time? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more football storytelling.